What is up, everybody? Welcome to Heads Up Play. We're on episode 51. We are ready to get into our
That
week.
was that was 6 or 15 because it was backwards.
We are ready to give you our week 2 of college predictions, and we are going to go. I know we don't have it mentioned because it's kind of last minute. We are going to give our Super Bowl predictions. Yes, you've heard it here first. You got college football and NFL back, so we got a lot to dive into. Let's get into it. Heads Up Play, episode 51.
Yes, sir.
We are. I just got the report on my phone. Taylor Swift is in Arrowhead Stadium right now.
Okay, did you see the stuff that came out a couple days ago that supposedly it was AI generated?
Like a PR company saying that.
Yeah,
like,
that it was like all fake and that there was supposed to be like an end date for the relationship.
It's supposed to be the end date this month.
Oh shit.
So if it ends at the end of this month, I'm gonna eat dog shit like I do from Florida State.
Book it. Book it.
He never did do it, did he?
He didn't. No, he didn't.
Supposed to eat,
You can't make a claim like that and not follow through. And you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about that because before we get into our predictions, because that was a Monday night's game. What is going on with Florida State here? What a drop off from a magical season last season. Obviously, it ended. They didn't get into the college football playoff, but I mean, it was an undefeated regular season. Had Jordan Travis, who was a Heisman Trophy contender, great quarterback, and now here we are into early next season, and they look. I want to say no better than the team down on the other side of the state, who is abysmal right now in Florida. The top two teams in Florida are horrible.
They are the first team in college football right now to lose 2 games in 2 separate conferences.
0-2 in that's true. And you could very well go ahead and write off all their playoff chances because not only are they 0-2, but both of their games have been ACC games. They're 0-2 in conference play. It's going to be a long road to go up from here.
I'm very curious to see how much money did Vegas make off of people betting that Florida State would be the ACC champs. Not even talking about ACC champs.
Yeah. I mean, because we talked about it last week. I think the ACC personally is wide open this year. But, man, that gap is closing up really quick with Florida State because, I mean, you had contenders in Florida State, obviously, because a lot of people thought so, me and you did. Clemson, still is kind of competing, sort of. Georgia Tech and Miami and Virginia Tech. Now, obviously, we've been sort of wrong on some of those.
Maybe SMU,
SMU, NC State. Who knows?
There are so many options this year in the ACC. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely, but to start off 0-2, man, that it's going to be tough. And DJ Uiagalelei has been straight up garbage.
My favorite thing on Twitter is when they're posting they're thinking DJU, it says, "Bro, just put the fries in the bag."
Go work at the Circle K that you did the little NIL deal for.
Oh my gosh! Did you see? Speaking of a bad commercial, Desmond Ritter, you remember him, the former quarterback of the Cincinnati Bearcats. He was a Falcons quarterback. He's terrible, terrible. So he got traded to the Cardinals this offseason for Rondale Moore, and what happened was he did a commercial when he was in college for I think either college or the Falcons. It was for DoorDash, saying he DoorDashes. He likes to DoorDash. The day he got cut by the Cardinals, that was the number one video on Twitter. Him DoorDashing, talking about how he loves the DoorDash. So, bro, you better get used to it again. You better get the dust off that old bag.
All right, yeah. Hey, crank up the Civic, boy.
I'm telling you, whenever you said that, it just made me think of that the other day. But no, DJU's terrible. We knew he was not good at Clemson. I mean, I got to give Dabo credit. Dabo won 11 games and took him to an ACC championship with DJU. Kudos. And then he went off to Oregon State with Jonathan Smith, had that one good season last year, but he was also playing, terrible teams in the Pac-12. And then whenever they would play somebody ranked, like an Oregon or a Washington, they would always fall. And then now he's getting exposed in Florida State. And the thing is, he played Bill O'Brien's Boston College, and he's played at Brant Key's Georgia Tech.
And not only that, he's looked worse than he ever has at Oregon State or Clemson. He was not great at either one of those. He was pretty good, sort of, especially at Oregon State, but like he's just looked god awful. He can't throw the ball for nothing.
You say you're out. I got to put someone else out. You're 0-2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Florida State continues to keep climbing, as they like to say. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think until that dude eats shit, Florida State's gonna continue to lose. I mean, that's got to break. That's what will break the curse. Is he actually has to eat the shit?
How do you think he explained it to his girlfriend or wife, whatever he has? Like, baby, I got to delete my social media. Why? I told everybody I'd eat dog shit out of a cup with a spoon if Florida State lost to Boston College. What did they? Yeah. Like, how do you explain that?
You can.
Like you're watching the game with your boyfriend, and then ding, ding, like his phone's just blowing up.
It blew up. It was a matter of like hours that whole thing just surfaced all across college football Twitter. I mean, it was. You had Josh Pate talking about it like on his show. So I mean that thing blew up. But we got some predictions this week, week 2. A lot of big games. Well, not a lot of big games, but we got a couple. Not quite as big as week 1.
Biggest games of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Surrounded with crap.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and let's get into that one. Game day is going to be there. Big noon kickoff's going to be there.
Michael Phelps, guest picker.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that. Michael Phelps, guest picker.
And Will Ferrell's going to be there. I promise you, if Will Ferrell is there, Ron Burgundy.
I didn't know Will Ferrell was going to be there. You know, he's a big USC guy.
Yeah, I was saying his kids go to USC. I forgot. I was thinking today, who are they going to get as a guest picker? I'm not going to lie, I thought they would went after like a Derek Jeter, some sort of former athlete, someone that was not football.
For Michigan?
Yes.
Okay.
And I forgot Michigan had Michael Phelps.
That's right. I forgot about that too. So, Texas and Michigan. High-flying offense. Steve Sarkisian, Texas. Great passing game, of course, with Quinn Ewers and some good wide receivers. I do think that the wide receiver play has taken a little bit of a step down. I mean, it's going to be hard to replace A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, but you got Isaiah Bond, Silas Bolden, a few other guys there at Texas, going up against a defense at Michigan that lost a lot of players last year, but it's still Michigan defense. What is your thoughts for this game? It's the noon game kickoff. I kind of hate having the biggest game at noon, but it is what it is.
What are your thoughts? In my opinion, the next 2 weeks, noon kickoff is going to have the best games the next 2 weeks. With this game, then Wisconsin, Bama next week. But I think Texas is going to beat the dog shit out of them. I'm going to be 100% honest.
All right.
I think Michigan they struggled against Fresno State last week. They started off the former walk-on. I forget what his name was. Edwards, I believe. Was that? What's the quarterback name they started off last week? The walk-on.
Oh, the white guy. I forgot his name. But it was supposed to be Alex Orji. Yes. Everybody thought it would be Alex Orji all off-season long.
They struggle with Fresno State. I'm not saying Fresno State's bad. I mean, they're usually pretty good on offense, but I mean, still, it's Fresno State. You're playing in the big house. You struggled all week. Texas, I'm telling you, I think Texas has a chip on their shoulder. They want to show the world. If we played Michigan in the national championship last year, we would have beat them. And I truly think they probably would have, personally, maybe. But I'm telling you, Texas. I think Texas is going to beat the dog out of them. They don't have Jim Harbaugh. You don't have Blake Corum coming through that door. Roman Wilson ain't coming through that door. You ain't got J.J. McCarthy. And, of course, you ain't got the guy in the stands watching your coach. I don't know if you noticed this. A lot of college football now, there is somebody behind a head coach with the tarp. Every time they call in plays, they put it up. And then when they're done, they put it back down.
Which is even a little interesting because now you have that in-helmet communication.
Let me tell you about the in-helmet. Kind of going off a little bit of script right here. I think it's so much bullshit with the in helmet thing. Let's say I'm playing you and your in helmet goes out. Oh, now you got to turn yours off. Why? That's not my fault that yours went out.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought because that happened at the Alabama game that we were at. Western
They said
Kentucky's
that
headset
happened
went
in
out.
a lot of college games this week. First week it went out.
It reminds me a lot of, we're going to have growing pains with this. It reminds me a lot of when the pitch com was first introduced in the MLB. Great idea, prevents the sign stealing. It was kind of brought up because of the Astros scandal. And then here we are, like the first year of it. There's some technical issues. There's going to be kinks that have to be worked out with this thing. I'm not a big fan of the fact that it has to be cut off at 15 seconds. Is that? Are you aware if that's how it is in the NFL? I know that the NFL has had the in-helmet communication for years.
I'm not sure, Alex. I'm not really 100% sure how the NFL is. I'm still upset about the kickoff rule.
I feel like if you want to, to me, it just doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like have it in complete full or don't have it at all. But that's besides the point. Texas is minus 7.5 on this game. I don't think it's going to be a total blowout, but I do think that Texas covers fairly easily. I can see, maybe a 14-point game. Now, if it is a blowout, then Michigan has just completely disintegrated. If Michigan wins this game, though, that makes things really interesting. Really interesting.
I'd be shocked. I'll be shocked if they do that. But I just don't think Sharon Moore is that good of a coach.
I don't either. I thought it was a lazy hire. We've talked about it before.
It was a fumble. I think it was a fumble. You're Michigan. You just came off the national championship. You don't want Michigan. I mean, I'm not saying they're up there with it. I mean, they probably are. They are. I'm sorry. Michigan's up there with like the prestige of Alabama.
They're a blue blood.
They're blue blood. I think they fumbled up.
I'll say this: if Nick Saban had retired and hired, let's see,
Jim McElwain.
Okay, let's say, Nick Saban had retired in 2020, and Alabama hired Steve Sarkisian. As great of an offensive coordinator as Steve Sarkisian was, and as good of a coach as I think he is at Texas, I would have thought it was a lazy hire and that Alabama could have done better. I feel and this feels worse than what that would have been.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I think Michigan fumbled the bag with this. It felt like a move when Penn State hired Bill O'Brien. It feels like they know that they're about to be under sanction. So let's just kind of like when Ole Miss had what's the big fat guy before Lane Kiffin?
Matt Luke.
Matt Luke. It felt like Doug Sharon. I hope I'm saying it right. He is just going to kind of pass the torch to the next one.
Did you see today? He actually isn't playing under a contract. They haven't had a contract agreement yet.
Tony, he won't last. It doesn't feel like it's. I don't know. So you got Texas in this game nationally?
I got Texas for sure. Okay. I'm not quite as confident as you, but I do think that they cover. Let's move on. Very important non-conference game for Sam Pittman and the Arkansas Razorbacks going to Stillwater, Oklahoma to take on the Cowpokes of Oklahoma State. They're number 16. Arkansas beat the dog crap out of Arkansas Pine Bluff. How we feeling?
What's the line?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
7.5.
Okay. 7.5 minus or in favor of Oregon State or Oklahoma State, I assume. I'm gonna go Oklahoma State on this one.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma State on this one, but I think it's gonna be close. I would take Arkansas plus 7.5. I would.
This will be a.
But I think Oklahoma State's gonna win.
Okay, this will be definitely a big test for Sam Pittman to determine, okay, like, have you improved under Bobby Petrino as OC?
Obviously, Harley Davidson jacket, leather jackets, baby. You better go ride on a motorcycle.
That's right. Look, that their offense was scoring the points last week. However, it was Arkansas Pine Bluff. We really don't know. But right now, give me Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon, I don't know if you just heard, he just dang had a DUI 2 seconds ago. I mean, so shoot, he's going to be running the ball 300 times a game.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, if it's too close of a game, maybe him and Bobby Petrino after the game go out.
That's what I'm saying.
Get a couple of grad students, like Petrino style, baby.
That's right. Just ride off into the win on the Harley.
And you're going to be an NFL head coach, leave 13 games into the season, and then,
There you go. There you go.
Rise up, baby. Falcons, baby. I mean, still never forget. All
right.
We both agree Oklahoma State for the next one. This next game, I'm going to tell you, this is my upset of the week. And I told you, I still think they're going to win the ACC because whoever wins the ACC is not going to be undefeated, in my opinion. Georgia Tech at Syracuse.
Okay.
Syracuse.
Okay. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. I am rolling with the Jackets. I like them. I like Brent Key. I like what he brings to the table. This is at Syracuse at the Loud House. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, excuse me, -3, so it's a close matchup. But I'm liking Haynes King and the Yellow Jackets.
I like that team. It's a good team. That will be a game. I think it's on at 11. I will be flipping between the three games that we've just discussed. Kind of. I'll probably have them on my multi-box.
There you go, the quad. Yeah, we got that'll be on ACC Network. Easily the worst of all the networks. Moving on, Baylor at Utah.
Before Utah was in the Big 12, this would have been a pretty big non-conference.
Yeah, it
game.
was. Yeah, it would have been.
Give me Utah. I think this is Dave Aranda's last year at Baylor.
Yeah, give me Utah as well. I think they're going to dominate in the Big 12. They are my pick for to be Big 12 champions.
I
think you picked Utah as well. Yeah, I like Utah all the way on this one. Not sure what the line is on this one. I can't find it. But either way, I think Utah would likely cover it.
I'm telling you, let me look. It might be double digits.
It very well could be. While you're looking that up, though, bigger game now for the Auburn Tigers. 14.5. You know what? I would still roll with Utah.
They're going to cover.
Cal taking a trip to down south. Them California boys coming into Bama and the Plains. The farm, the barn, taking on them Tigers. Are they legit? Can Perry Thompson, Cam Coleman come alive against a Power 4 team?
What did we say last week? We're back, baby. Auburn's back. We put 73 on Alabama A&M. And, I mean, you just beat Jasper High School, basically. Practically, you could have played them and got more points. I'm telling you, I think Auburn wins, but it's going to be a close one like last year whenever they played that. You remember that game at Cal last year? It
was late at night. It was close. Really kind of came down to the wire a little bit, if I remember correctly, but Auburn did win that game. I think this one's going to be Auburn win in a more convincing fashion.
I agree.
Because I think that, look, it's at home, and it's a better Auburn team.
It's a daytime game. I want to say what you want about Jordan Hare. When they play at 2:30 instead of like 11.
That is their spot right there, that 2:30 spot.
And depends who it is. Sometimes it's better than the night game.
It can be, especially in the Iron Bowl there in Auburn. You know, when it's a 2:30 kickoff for the Iron Bowl in Auburn, and come around 6:30, you see that sun setting in the background, and the sky is all dark on one half, and then like yellow and pink. That screams Iron Bowl for me right there. And you just know, okay, something crazy is going to happen with this. But give me Auburn in this one, fairly convincingly. I don't think Cal is fantastic.
I'm pulling a line on that game.
And then, this was one I'm going to watch. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching this one.
Auburn -13.5.
I like that.
Much, but I'll take that.
I would take it. Colorado, Deion Sanders, your boy, goes into Lincoln, Nebraska to take on the Cornhuskers.
Let me ask you, who you got?
I got Nebraska all the way on this one. I think Nebraska is not quite to the spot of a college football playoff competition, but I like what Matt Rule has been doing. I think that quarterback Dylan Raiola could be really good. He wants to be Patrick Mahomes, obviously, based on how he dresses and looks. I don't think he's quite there yet. But I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think Nebraska is on their way to being really good. And I just didn't see Colorado watching their game against North Dakota State, as good of a FCS program as North Dakota State is. I just did not watch that game and go, Colorado has made the necessary improvements that they needed to make. They have not upgraded on defense. They've barely upgraded on offense. Shadur Sanders is still fantastic. Travis Hunter is still fantastic. They got a couple good wide receivers and Jimmy Horn and a couple other guys. Outside of that, what have they upgraded? They have not upgraded the offensive line. I mean, give me Nebraska all the way on this.
Not so fast.
Oh, do not tell me this.
It depends on what Colorado's defense can do. Because they can have a shootout where they're telling you, Colorado's offense is as good as Nebraska's offense. But I don't know what their defense is going to do. If their defense shows up to play, then they'll have a chance of beating them. But I'm telling you, if it's a shootout, give me Colorado. I think Travis Hunter, I'm going to be honest, he needs to be your Heisman winner. If he can play every game this year, stay healthy, Travis Hunter needs to be the Heisman winner.
A bit of a bold take, I will say. You're not going to see a Heisman winner on a team that wins less than 7 games. I mean, it took Jaden Daniels padding stats like crazy just to win it on a 3-loss team last year.
Look at Lamar Jackson when he was at Louisville. Who would have thought Louisville would have a Heisman winner?
You're right. But I would think in order for anybody on that team to win the Heisman, they have to win at least 7 games.
Offensive line's a little better, but defense, that's the only thing. If they can hold them on defense for a couple of drives, because I'm not questioning their offense. I think their offense is there. Shadur is a stud. I think Travis is a stud. I really like, what's his name, that boy you just mentioned?
Jimmy Horn?
Yes, I think he's underrated. I do think Jimmy, and I'm not trying to be a Deion lover. I'm just telling you, I really like the offense for Deion. Defense, I think it's the worst in the FBS, one of the worst. But give me Colorado against Nebraska.
Okay, all right.
The line is 7.5 right now in Nebraska.
So that would be your second upset of the week then.
I guess. I don't know if I'd call it.
It would be an upset.
Bold take.
Okay. Iowa State at Iowa.
That
battle for the corn. I think there's a name for that rivalry. I just can't remember what it is.
That might be an upset too.
What's the line on that one? Are you aware?
-3 Iowa. I don't like Iowa's offense. We kind of switched from Colorado to Iowa. Iowa has the worst offense in the Big 12. Pac-12. Really, anything.
You know what? I'm going to roll with it. Give me Matt Campbell to upset the Hawkeyes in Iowa.
I feel like this game should be played later in the year.
It should, but they're different conferences, so I suppose that's why. There's, with the Big Ten expanding their conference from what was originally 10 teams to now 18, a little ridiculous, but give me Iowa State. What you got?
I like Iowa State. Give me
Iowa State.
Okay,
all right.
Close. I think Iowa's offense is terrible. Give me Iowa State.
All right, upcomer, Lance Leopold. And the number 19 Kansas, who for so many years has been one of, if not the worst team in the Power 5, now Power 4, is now ranked number 19 in the country, and they go on the road to take on Illinois.
Well, you got the coach that can do it, Brett Bielema.
Brett Bielema. Well, he didn't do it at Arkansas, but
he
can
could
do
not.
it.
He had it going at Wisconsin.
Yes, he did. Made a huge mistake ever leaving there.
Oh my God! Went to Arkansas and terrible with a 29-34 record. He's been okay at Illinois. He's pulled off a couple of big wins at Illinois. Against Penn State. This is kind of I would guess a record break year. He's 19-19 in his career. This would be a make or break year. I think this game. I give me Kansas, but Kansas is only favored by 5.5 points. Give me Kansas, but I think Illinois covers.
Okay. I wouldn't be shocked with that. I'm going to go with Kansas as well. This would be a game that I probably wouldn't bet on, but because I kind of like Illinois to cover as well, but I'm not super confident on it. I love Jalen Daniels and Kansas. It's one of those things, though. It's like if he goes down, though, watch out because their season could tank. But give me Kansas in this one.
We're rounding up to the end. Let's do a speed one on here real fast. Unranked South Carolina at Kentucky. Give me the Wildcats.
Give me Kentucky on this one as well. I'm not big on South Carolina. I think this will be Shane Beamer's last season as head coach there. They're a little bit more patient than some Florida fans. They don't care quite as much as Florida fans. His saving grace has been the couple times that he's beaten Clemson. If he had not done that, he'd be out of there by now already. But give me Kentucky.
Tennessee, yeah, that kind of saved him.
Yep. And then Tennessee, probably the second biggest game of the weekend. Tennessee going on the road to NC State. Two Elite Eight team versus a Final Four team.
Yeah, I mean these are two potential playoff teams. I'm excited to see Grayson McCollum in a Power Four game. You know what I mean?
Didn't look fantastic against Western Carolina.
Well, I know. He had the rebound on that one. Shocked they're still ranked, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tennessee. I think Tennessee's really good. They scare me. They scare me as an Alabama fan. Nico is going to be a stud in this game. I'm trying to pull up the line. Give me Tennessee, though. I got Tennessee beating North Carolina State at North Carolina. Are they playing there or are they going somewhere else?
It is at North Carolina State.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like at a different stadium. Right now, Tennessee's minus 10-point favorite. It's called the Duke Mayo Classic.
I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one as well. Actually, it's in Charlotte. That's right. Thanks for saying that. It's in Charlotte at the Panther Stadium, I'm pretty sure. Give me Tennessee, but I think North Carolina could come out and play a little ball, a little better than they did last week. I'm interested in Tennessee's defense.
Let me ask you another game real fast. I just now noticed this. Got another Power 4 game between two non-conference. Mississippi State and Arizona State.
I know about this game. Give me the Sun Devils in this game. Mississippi State, year one. They looked really good last week, scored a lot of points. Jeff Lebby, obviously a great offensive guy. But now you got to go on the road out to the desert. It's a different climate. The air is drier. I like Arizona State in this one.
Give me Arizona State, too. I was about to say. I think they get their first. I think they get the second win, move on to 2-0.
Nice. All right.
The last game, and it's not a big game, but, we always like to lay for our team to be like, you got, and they've been talking crap on Twitter.
Oh, my Lord.
Florida, USF at Alabama.
Yeah, this is going to be a more interesting game than it probably would usually be. And it might be a game for non-Alabama fans to kind of tune into, at least for the first quarter or so. Because this was a really interesting game last year. It kind of built the Jalen Milroe story last season. Nick Saban benched him, remember, for kind of complaining, not being the best leader at practice like he should have been. You start who was now a lacrosse player and Tyler Buckner.
Notre Dame as a wide receiver too now.
That's right. So you start a guy who I bet his ass regretted leaving Notre Dame so hard. Tommy Reese, that was definitely Tommy Reese's little experiment boy. But so you start Tyler Buckner. He does god awful, some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen against an awful defense in South Florida. Bring in Ty Simpson. He's able to score a couple touchdowns. Overall, though, it's a super ugly game. I was at that game. Easily the worst Alabama performance I had ever seen since 2007 when I watched them in person get beat by Louisiana Monroe in Nick Saban's first season. So absolutely horrible performance. It rained. It was a monsoon. And now, just like you just said, USF, it's a 2-for-1 deal. Alabama went to USF first. USF now comes to Alabama 2 years in a row, this year and next. I have never seen a group of 5 team be so confident that they are truly going to whoop Alabama's ass.
I don't understand. I'm so excited for this game. I've never been more excited for a group of 5 team in my life as this game.
Because they're talking shit on Twitter.
Yes.
I mean, it is not just like they're going heavy after Alabama. Like they are memeing hard. I'll give them credit. Like they got some memes. But good Lord.
Oh yeah, they're going after him. But you know what? Well, I'm trying to think of some famous USF players. Quentin
Flowers, BJ Daniels. Those are probably like the 2 best, I guess.
No, they ain't coming through the door today. But I got Bama.
Yeah, absolutely. Bama covers. Even if they don't cover, it still will be an ass whooping. Give me Bama 100%. I can't wait to check Twitter the very next day, though. Let's talk a little NFL.
NFL, this is terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of ruined my day because I've been looking forward to this. The Ravens and Chiefs have cleared the field, and fans are asked to make their ways to the concourses due to inclement weather.
Oh no! Dang. Well, that's where I was kind of going with. These early season games that the NFL does, and you're starting to see college football do it too with the week of 0 going to London and Ireland. What are your thoughts about them going to some of these different countries for some of these games?
I think it's at Arrowhead tonight. I might be wrong.
No, it's in Brazil.
No, tomorrow's Brazil.
Oh, tomorrow's Brazil. Who's playing in the Brazil game?
Packers, Eagles.
That's right.
I think that's the dumbest thing ever. You know, I understand London. I think London's actually a smart idea. Because I understand, you got people over there that's big NFL people. They can come home and watch. Because if you ever watch those games, I'm trying to find out where they're playing at. If you ever watch those London games, you'll never see like one team's jersey. It's like every team's jersey in the stands.
Yeah.
Because it's people that are in the military or somebody that's working, these big corporate jobs and they get transferred over there. That's the only football they see. They don't have football over there. It's soccer.
Yeah. I thought the game in Germany last year was pretty cool.
I just don't understand the Brazil one.
Brazil is odd to me, though. One, it's a super dangerous country. Why in the world would you go there?
The hotel, even like Darius Slay, the cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, comes out and says, "Why are we even going? Like, if I'm not bringing my family, he's like, I'm literally bringing my Xbox just to play in the room." He said, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous for them because these are multimillionaire guys, and there's so much crime down there in Brazil that it's, who knows what kind of people are going to want to come after them to rob them.
The Furious 5? I mean, come on.
All right, shoot. Hell, Ricky Pearsall just got shot in San Francisco. We're not even safe in our own backyard.
17 years old.
Unbelievable.
Well, speaking of NFL, give me your Super Bowl predictions.
Super Bowl prediction. Okay, all right. Because I haven't thought about this much. I'm going to say... Well, give me yours, because let me think on it real quick.
Well, I think in the AFC, you are going to have... It will not be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
I think they're going to regress this year. I think you're going to have, and they're playing tonight, the Baltimore Ravens. Give me Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl playing.
Oh, don't hype yourself up too much now.
I'm kidding. It's not going to be us. I'm actually thinking he's going to be this team. Give me the 49ers.
Okay.
Against the Ravens. Yes, I think the 49ers will make the Super Bowl. And my winner of the Super Bowl, because they have Tractor El Tosito as their running back, he is going to help Lamar Jackson to where he don't need to run it in. Give me the Ravens as your Super Bowl champs.
Okay. My prediction, I'll give you this prediction right now. 2 multi-millionaires. These two guys got a lot in common. They know each other really well.
Oh,
really well.
I know you're about to say.
Give me Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on the one and only former teammate, the man he came in for, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, going the battle of the brothers, and give me Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Oh, okay. They get revenge. Okay. I like it.
That's my Super Bowl pick.
Let me ask you, who are we supporting this year? Who is your team this year? Who are you going to try to?
My team this year, I've kind of talked about this before. I've never been able to find an NFL team myself. But I'm going to be much more into the NFL this year, and I think I'm going to root for a team for the city that I used to live in, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Because why not?
Okay.
I got some association to the Bucs, so give me the Bucs. Thought about either them or the Jags because I'm in Gainesville now, not too far from Jacksonville. But give me the Buccaneers. I'm gonna roll with the Bucs. Yeah. I mean, look, I like Mac Jones, but he's second string.
You got Chris Bradwell. You got, Jamal Dean.
Yeah.
Player. Carlton Davis. Man, you got some studs, man. So that's our Super Bowl predictions, everybody. Do you got a question of the day, Sam? We're kind of wrapping things up.
Question of the day. We'll keep it non-sports related.
What minion do you think is cute?
What now?
What minion do you think is cute?
I don't know the minions' names. I just know they go. I just like the mom Facebook memes of the minions.
You were born to stand out.
All right. You and I took a little road trip this past weekend to go to the Alabama game. Favorite road trip gas station snack? What you go to a gas station on a road trip? What you getting to drink? What you getting to snack on? What are we thinking?
Give me a liquid death with. That's gonna sound a Buc-ee's kolache. You got the bread, real soft bread. You got the cheese in there with the jalapenos and the sausage. Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say, what if there's no Buc-ee's nearby? What if we're just going to like a Circle K?
Get me either some Sour Patch Kids or some pretzels.
Okay.
Kind of like the shoestring tied pretzels, Yes, okay. And I like the big ones too. It's where they're like when you get down, there's like little mess at the bottom of the bag.
Little crumbs of salt.
Crumbs, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll with. I'm a big can guy, and I love my liquid death, but I'm gonna get me. If it's in the morning, I'm gonna get me an energy drink, like a C4, something like that, or I might get me like a Fanta, like an orange soda, like those, and then I'll get me to snack on, maybe something like something with some carbs, hold me over a little bit. You know what's really good? Combos. I love some combos. Those pizza flavored combos. These some combos.
You know what I like to go on a road trip? Drink?
What's that?
A beer.
Give me the keys, baby. Take us a ride.
Newport's behind you, sir. Give me
Yeah, give me a bag of the Marlboro Reds, and can I get this this Miller without the brown bag?
So
I
kick
like
off
the way it feels.
at 7:30. I mean 7:40. 7:40.
Okay, all right. A little late for me, but guys, I think that does it for episode 51. What?
That's it.
That's it. 51. Let's see how our predictions do next week. We'll need to go and look at our predictions next week from both week 1 and week 2 to see how we did over the past couple weeks. See who's winning. But guys, be sure to like.
Dog shit out of a cup.
I ain't promising nothing.
I ain't promising nothing.
Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X. We're posting a lot on Twitter. We're getting really active, so follow us on there.
Tonight for this game tonight, I cannot wait.
That's right. So if you want to hear two little Alabama boys give you some memes, follow us on there. And as always, leave a comment and hit them with it.
You stay classy.
Stay classy.